Welcome to virtual meeting number 2 for your course Programming Fundamentals with Laboratory and Lesson Outcomes. Understand and write algorithms, apply the basic procedures and symbols used in flowcharting, and solve programming problems. Highlights of this lesson: algorithm and flowcharting. What is an algorithm? So, in computer programming terms, an algorithm is a set of well-defined instructions to solve a particular problem. So, it takes a set, again, of inputs and produces the desired output. If we look at this explanation, we can see or we can say that in order for us to get the desired output, we would be having several procedures. Okay, so they are the instructions needed to solve the problem in general. So, let's take a look at this sample problem to write a program that would add two numbers and display their sum. So, we can say that this problem will ask the users to input two numbers. So, 1, 2 numbers. Then, since we do have the sum here, we will need an instruction to add the two numbers. Alright? Now, the algorithm would be take two numbers as input. So that's basically the very first thing that you need to do. For example, the inputs are 1 and 2. These are the two numbers. Then, add the two numbers using the operator plus. And this is the one understood by our computer system. Next, the sum of two numbers will be displayed. Right? So, yung desired output that we have mentioned here is the sum. And the inputs that we have up here are the two numbers. And the instructions: take the two numbers, add, and display. What are the characteristics of an algorithm? So, say this is an algorithm. There should be well-defined inputs. If the problem asks for two numbers, it is well-defined, meaning you are entering or inputting two numbers, 1 and 2. Alright? Next, so when it has a well-defined inputs, it should have as well well-defined outputs. So, in the inputs 1 and 2, what was required in the previous slide is to print or display the sum. Display sum would mean that you are defining what output you would want to have for your algorithm. Should be clear and unambiguous. So it means that the algorithm should be clear, leading to just one output with a finiteness characteristics. So it means that the algorithm should end. There should be an ending. Like once it has printed the sum, the algorithm should end. Next one, it should be language independent. Should be plain instructions only. So what we mean by this is that the algorithm can be interpreted by any programming language. But we don't say that the programming language can just fetch the algorithm and run it in its own. No, it won't be like that. Next one, it should be feasible. When we say feasible, it must be simple and generic, and the contents are actually, or the contents can actually execute, no? Can actually be executed. So there's nothing impossible with the contents that you wrote.